Right, game 2 of a series of a disappointing Rangers against a strong Carolina Hurricanes team, where Carolina Hurricanes are leading 1-0 already. This is OT1, my name is Norman. Thank you for tuning in. I outlined the importance of remaining disciplined in this game, especially after the last game and the 32 penalty minutes in the first half hour and the 42 over an entire game. This game was end-to-end, high-paced and physical, but especially entertaining to neutrals. So let's get right into it. So right away, Pavel Buchnevich takes a penalty 16 seconds in, and again, he clearly didn't get the memo of stopping taking bad penalties and allowing the power play of Carolina to do what it does, especially with the 1-0 lead that they already have. However, the Rangers do good on the PK, and nothing comes out of it. It was a similar start like in game 1, with Carolina dominating and looking very likely to score. And yet again, the Canes grab an early lead through Andrei Svechnikov with a puck that went between Lundqvist's arm and body. He probably should have had it. He really looked dejected. Peter Mrazek comes up with an absurd save. Every line for Carolina seems to be working perfectly this series. The defensive lines are working very well even without Dougie Hamilton. Peter Mrazek is doing his thing very well in net. A little later, Panarin does equalize on a 5-on-3 just after Mika Zibanejad hits the post on that same power play. Again, we go back to the story of giving away way too many penalties, letting the other team have the power play, and obviously scoring on that power play. Straight away, the Canes give yet another penalty away, with Mrazek again pulling off a major save. This is exactly what both teams would have wanted, tiring the other team out, making them doubt themselves, having them take bad penalties. That is a way to lose a game if you're the team that's giving away lots of penalties, as we'll see later on. The Canes and most of the Rangers need to address this going into the next few games. The period ended sloppily with only 13 shots between both teams, but it certainly wasn't for a lack of trying. And this probably will be the series, along with the Hawks and Oilers, where you're likely to see everything you expect from playoff hockey. But later on, we did see the same with the Jets and the Flames, where you see fights, you see lots of penalties, lots of breakaways, misses, goals, a bit of everything really. Both teams, especially New York, needs to have prolonged periods of sustained pressure in every zone, especially the offensive zone, without crossing the line of the law. Right into the second, the Canes take the lead yet again via Svechnikov on yet another power play. Again, going back to the giving away way too many penalties things. I'm repeating myself over and over, but it's happened all the time in the first game. It's happened yet again in the second, and it'll probably happen in the third as well. So this has been the most talked about point, and I don't know what we will see from the Rangers and the Canes in the off-season, but if this becomes a sweep like we are maybe expecting at this point, this will cast serious shadows over the future of guys like Tony DeAngelo. It might also cast shadows over the future of Henrik Lundqvist, maybe even guys like Capo Caco, who has a high trade value, guys like Chris Kreider, and so on. 71 seconds later, Martinook gets another one for the Rangers, and yet again it shows the importance of keeping that momentum with a Peter Mrazek save on Mika Zibanejad just earlier. It really looked over and done with for the Rangers for this game and in the series at that point. You really can't blame Henrik Lundqvist for the goals, but perhaps Igor Shesterkin is the way to go in game 3. The second period was much more physical, and the Rangers seemed much more organized and played with a purpose. However, this Carolina team looks like it has scarily good potential, and you have to remember it has been playing without Dougie Hamilton all this time. So the third was still physical and fast-paced, but it did die down a little, although you knew a goal was coming. And Andrei Svechnikov actually got a goal, his hat-trick, his first playoff hat-trick, the first playoff hat-trick for any Canes in their history. And it definitely looks like the Canes are going to sweep the Rangers now. Things go from bad to worse for the Rangers, as Tony DeAngelo gets a 10-minute game misconduct 6 minutes before time for throwing punches at Martinook, who was down on the ice. And so this game, as much as the Rangers were a little dysfunctional, was more so a showing of a structured, motivated and efficient Carolina team that looks like it can do some damage to any team. Svechnikov and Aho are just two of several examples of players that look like they've not had a break at all. Peter Mrazek's antics in goal are bound to inspire the skaters on the ice, and he just seemed unbeatable all night long. That's not to say that there aren't certain things that need to be improved or completely changed up, such as giving up way too many penalties, giving up too much ice at sometimes, but Rob Brind'Amour definitely seems like the man with a plan. So this has been my review for Game 2 of the Canes vs Rangers series. Stay tuned for my next video on Winnipeg vs Calgary. My name has been Norman, and I thank you very much for watching.